Here he is right here.
Hi there, I'm Joe Bartlett and thanks for watching Blue Creek Outdoors. In this video, we have the start of something that's pretty cool. A while back, I met a man named Rick Truzzolino who told me he'd had an idea of making a faith-based fishing series, a fishing video with a message of faith in every episode. And I told him that Blue Creek Outdoors would love to help him make that happen. And he scheduled our first trip, a trip fishing for sturgeon on the Columbia River. It was a phenomenal day of fishing, and it made a great first episode. I hope that you go check out Rick Truzzolino's channel and catch more episodes of Fishing for Men as we get them made. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you enjoy the first one.
Here he is right here. We made it, believe it or not. Here we are on the Columbia River. We're staying at Boardman, and we're gonna meet our buddy Jacob Munnan tomorrow with Rising Sun Adventures. We can't wait. We're gonna do some sturgeon fishing. This has been a long time coming. Been praying about this for 3 years. And the Lord put me in the path of my buddy here, Joe Bartlett. And I'll let him explain what he does with his company. And if he'd like to share some testimony, we can do that too. So.
Thanks,
Anyway,
Rick.
Joey.
Appreciate it, Rick.
Yeah.
I'm Joe Bartlett. I started Blue Creek Outdoors a few years ago, a company that films hunting and fishing trips, and this spring was able to meet Rick, and he asked me if I knew anybody that would love to be able to film a faith-based fishing series with him, and I thought, heck yes, that's something I'd love to do. So yeah, I grew up in a pretty strong Christian home, didn't miss church on Sundays, and went to college and kind of went my own way for a little while and figured out the hard way that doesn't work. It'll leave you with some bumps and bruises, and that are self-inflicted and not worth the trouble that it takes you to get there. So kind of ended up growing up and graduating college and getting married and becoming an adult, which in turn kind of led me back into understanding and knowing how important it is to have a relationship with God and listen to Him and walk with Him and only Him and not rely on yourself, because that doesn't ever lead to very much production anyways. So that's kind of my story in a nutshell.
So right now these fish are just, this flat is just a big huge flat, about 60 feet all the way around, and you'll sit for an hour, nothing, and then all of a sudden you'll get one, land it, come back on anchor, get another one, and then wait an hour. It's just, you're just cruising. So we put these baits out there and they can smell from so far away. We're going to be drawing fish from clear below us. There'll be fish above us that'll come down and then get a sniff and come back in. So they'll start biting like a trout, just kind of they don't really take it real crazy. So the goal is just to get it up out of this holder as gentle as possible without a lot of movement. Hold it sideways like this, thumb down, and then really wait till you feel them pull, and then swing for the fences. You're not going to hurt them.
I think it was awesome, Joe. Yeah, here we are. An amazing day.
Jacob explained that he chooses to use heavy gear with a tight drag with the intent of never fighting a fish for longer than 30 minutes, reducing the stress on the fish. The white sturgeon in this area can reach up to 12 feet and 500 pounds, which means that we're in for a pretty good workout. Rick was at the rail first and was soon hooked up on one of these Columbia River monsters.
Yep. There you go. All right, reel. Tight to him. Lift the wood to him. We're floating down to him right now. That's why you're gaining line. Right. Reel.
After about a 20-minute battle, we had our first look at one of these amazing fish.
Oh yeah, there he is. played that game before. So you can see how, you know, he sucked that bait in.
Yeah.
But this is a nice fish, you know, probably 6.5 footer.
That's awesome. Finally, Joe.
Columbia River sturgeon, they're kind of, so this is how they feed. They got these barbels down here, and he'll lay flat on the bottom and smell with those, and then obviously his mouth's behind it. So then they just come up and they don't have any teeth. There's a vacuum, and then they have a big crusher right here in their throat. They eat a lot of freshwater clams, and so they crush dead fish and clams is their main diet, and they'll crush those clams.
We set up anchor and dropped bait again, hoping that Rick was going to get another try at a fish of a lifetime, and in no time at all, we were hooked up again.
Let him go that way.
This was definitely a larger fish as the fight began to push the half-hour mark. But it wasn't long after that up out of the deep came over 200 pounds of Columbia River monster.
There he is right here.
There you go. We're at 8.5.
Definitely the fish of a lifetime. The good Lord definitely had a plan for today.
Yeah, you get some good pictures?
Yeah.
Yeah, just roll her whenever you're ready. Roll her on her tummy, and she'll swim off. All right. Nice.
And now, I was lucky enough to get a chance at the rail myself.
Right. Eat it. That's my favorite part. I just sit here.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Oh, there we go.
There he goes.
Down.
Yep.
Okay.
Got him?
Yep.
All right, now let him go.
Let him go.
Reel. Reeling good, reeling good. There you go. Reel. Yep, he's on. Reel. You want to stay super tight to them all the time. Good bend to the rod, a lot of pressure, not a lot of movement with the rod. So you'll work clear down to the gunnel, reel down to the water, and then slowly up. Right about to there, and then reel down. We want to work that lower area. I'm going to spin around him, so you don't move. You stay there. Don't follow him. Rod down in the water for me. Reel. Yep, reel.
Up until now, the biggest fish that I'd ever caught was about 16 pounds. So the pure power of these sturgeon was absolutely breathtaking.
There he is.
There he is.
The key is getting them on their belly.
Oh yeah.
Or I mean on their back, like this. There it is. Alright.
Right there?
Yep. And if you want, stick your hand down in there and you can feel that crusher plate.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. A solid
That's
bone.
wild. Holy cow.
We got 4 barbels on him. Yep, all 4 there.
It's not as, this isn't probably as old of a fish as the
No,
last
this is kind of probably a 30, 40-year-old. This is my age. This is a 40-year-old.
Yeah.
He's just kind of in his prime. Yeah, their skin, they've got like a shark hide, but that, see the side?
Yeah.
Those scoots there, feel them. Are they sharp or just kind of not too bad?
They're not too bad.
As they get older, they get real dull, but
Really?
when they're young, they're
pretty
super sharp, and then they have this belly line too.
Oh, right here.
Right
yeah.
here.
Yep.
And that's all just defense when they're little, so fish won't eat them.
Yeah.
Oh, there he goes. Down she goes.
That's awesome.
Bingo!
Good job.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Nice.
Appreciate it. That was
You
cool.
bet.
That was awesome. Fishing slowed a little bit at this location, so we headed a few miles away to one of Jacob's hunting holes. We thought it would be great to see how the pros do it, so it was Jacob's turn to set the hook, and he did not disappoint.
Trouble.
I kind of wish I would have gone first when it was 7. It's like an arm wrestle contest. Rocky rubbed on.
Yeah, booze or something there.
Pretty full.
Wow, they're awesome. It is something else.
You ready?
Yep. You want to go back? Thanks for playing. Yeah!
Good work.
Rick was praying for one more chance at one of these amazing fish, and very soon his prayers were answered.
Let him take it a little bit. There. I've gotten pretty good at judging them in the
This wasn't Rick's largest fish of the day, but it was definitely his hardest fought battle, lasting over a half an hour as the power of these fish was on full display.
Rick here, he's got exceptional form. He's using a good bicep here with a forearm over here. A good grip, large wide grip. Good foregrip here with his offhand. There you go. My hand in there, but he swallowed it. I'll get his tail up and
What a day. I'm not gonna let the cat out of the bag, but it was an amazing day. Jacob Munn is an amazing guide and amazing family man, and it's just an honor to be here with him. So without any further ado, here's Jacob, and he's gonna talk to you.
Yeah. Thanks, Rick. Yeah, Jacob Munden. I own and operate Munden's Rising Sun Adventures, and this is my 8th year of guiding. I'm also a high school ag teacher. I teach metal shop and all the welding classes in Southeast Washington State, Pasco, Washington, Pasco High School. So been doing that for 15 years, guiding for 8, and do about 75 to 80 trips a year between fishing. And I work with Clyde Shooting Preserve, and we do guided pheasant and chucker hunts at Clyde Shooting Preserve, which is just outside the Tri-City area in Southeast Washington. So stay real busy.
You got quite a family.
Quite
too.
a family. Been married for 17 years. My wife Megan, and we've got 3 kids. 13-year-old Carson, and my daughter Harper Grace is 9, and my little guy Dylan is 4. So we are in the heat of raising kids as well. So.
I guess this what's your walk been with the Lord? I mean,
Yeah.
Since you were a kid and up to
Yeah,
now.
you know, for me it really was. You know, obviously with Rising Sun Adventures, S-O-N instead of
that's awesome.
S-U-N. You know, this is kind of a faith-based startup. A little background to how I got started guiding. When I was teaching, I kind of felt called to put together a summer youth fishing program for an organization, a youth mentoring organization in the Tri-Cities called Ignite Youth Mentoring. And so I kind of had to get my captain's license and get all legal with the guiding and taking people out to do that, although it wasn't necessarily a business venture. So we did that, and then as that grew and developed, people wanted to fish more with me, and you know, just word of mouth. I think that's a good trip on the river is the best advertisement you can have. And you know, long story short, before we knew it, I got just get real busy fishing, and I have a good client base, and Ignite Youth Mentoring kind of came and went, but it was a good kind of opportunity to work with some youth in the Tri-Cities, and that turned into quite a few of my clients now that are past Ignite mentors and mentees that have kind of graduated out of that program and moved on. So,
Wow.
yeah, I grew up in the church. You know, I got saved and accepted Jesus into my heart when I was 7 years old.
Wow, really?
You know, I kind of had a really, you know, I'm blessed to have a pretty good upbringing. You know, mom and dad in the church, and I grew up in the church. Private school as a youngster, and you know, as any of us have ups and downs in our walk and growth periods and mountains and valleys, but all in all, you know, as I've grown older and maybe a little bit wiser, I just see the blessings in my life, you know, that I have a relationship and a walk with God, and He walks with me everywhere I go. Helps me on the river, helps me in the classroom, helps me raise a family, helps me in my marriage, and I'm just super privileged to work for Him.
Wow. Anything specific, like you've seen God work with you in your life, with your family or anything? Or?
Yeah, you know, raising kids, being married, you know, God's always got His hand in that. You know, I went through a period in my life in my 30s where I was questioning things. I got hurt. I really hurt I fell hunting. I love to hunt as well. I fell off a mountain and I blew out my lower back, and I was bedridden for 6 weeks, and about 6 or 8 weeks after that, just kind of limping around. And I was kind of young. I was 30.
Right.
And I said, man alive, I've got a lot of life I want to live, and a lot I still wanted to do, and I could barely get up and go to the bathroom. So it was really hard. It was a period in my life where kind of some anxiety got in and some worry, and you know, I leaned into some older men, some mentors in my life, and got into some prayer groups through my church. And you know, one thing that's really cool is, you know, gleaning info off of the old wise men that have been through the same road and the same struggles that I had, to just reassure me that, hey, it's okay.
Testimony, yeah.
And then lean into prayer, and God will show you that He is right there with you every step of the way.
I agree with that. But I just can't tell you how much I appreciate you and Joe and doing this with me. I mean, like I said, it's been like 3 years. I've been here and answered my prayer.
Yeah.
So Joe, you
well,
know.
I'm happy to have you. These days like this isn't work. This is this is fun, and you guys let me fight a big fish today, and I appreciate that.
Broke a sweat. Huh?
Yep, broke a sweat. So that was good.
But anyway, the scripture, because of that, when I was praying about this before, that God gave me was actually the one that I used when I got baptized, because it was a big step for me. It was public declaration, which this might be for you. Might be a big step until. But it's Matthew 5:14, and it goes on. But your lives light up the world. Let others see your light from a distance. For how can you hide a city that stands on a hilltop or in a boat?
Yeah, that's right.
Or in a hilltop like Job. And who would light a lamp and then hide it in an obscure place? Instead, it's placed where everyone in the house can benefit from its light, like you and Job. And so don't hide your light. Let it shine brightly before others, so that the commendable things you do will shine as light upon them. And then they will give their praise to your Father in heaven. And it's being an example of bringing that love to the boat every day. I know people see that. I could see it when I was fishing last time. So it's just really a cool thing. And of course, that's my hope at one point to have a boat, because nobody can get off the boat, right?
Yeah.
You got them trapped. But yeah, I can just say is encourage you, keep doing that and spreading God's love and just the gifts that He's given you to do that.
Yeah, thank you.
I thank you, and I thank Joe, and I can't wait for the next one. Amen. Hallelujah.